I think a lot of people think of Japan as being a very peaceful and kind of happy place, and it definitely is that. But that doesn't mean there's not really an insane amount of prejudice here. There's a really kind of weird prejudice in the sense that there's a lot of like for white people from the States, essentially. White people from Europe are kind of cool too, but definitely white people from the States are kind of esteemed as being really awesome, and it's really strange to me. Being a white girl from the States, it's odd to have people always really eager to smile at me and to talk to me in English and all sorts of things like that. It was odd when my daughter was born and I was at a place where there were a lot of other moms. It's like a clinic kind of where we have the baby and then stay for about a week afterwards. And you know, I'd eat breakfast and lunch with these women and we'd talk and stuff. And we'd kind of all gather around as we went to go eat our lunch, for example. We'd drop our babies off at the nurse station and then go eat. And, you know, everybody be staring at the babies through the glass. Oh, they're all so cute. And people were just really straight out weird about stuff. You know, oh my gosh, my baby is like so ugly compared to your baby, and oh, I wish I had married a white guy, then I could have a cute baby like you. Just really random, straight out, strange kind of comments to make. I was really surprised. Like, what kind of reaction are you supposed to have to that? Yeah, you know, your baby is really ugly, actually. No, I mean, it was just really strange for me hearing that, and having people have that reaction, and not just there, it was repeatedly. I go to the grocery store and my little daughter's with me, and the checkout lady's like, there's a reason right there that I should have married a white guy. And it's like, well, you guys are just looking to marry white guys so you can have cute kids. I don't know, very strange. And there's a whole culture to that too, and children that are a mix of Japanese and especially white are referred to as half. And you do use the word half for other things, but it actually is kind of saved for that special group of just white kids mixed with Japanese. Whereas you do see some kids who are half, obviously half Korean and half Japanese, or half Chinese and half Japanese, but they're not referred to as half. They're just a person. It's kind of weird. There's a whole, you know, excitement over that, and oh my gosh, you know, people spot me in the store, and I have a stroller, and you can see them like eagerly waiting to see if they can catch a look at my kid, which is just really weird to me. And you know, it's a good thing for me, always a plus on my side, although it does feel kind of weird to have people staring at you and, you know, literally be taken aback that you exist at all. But it's, you know, it's a good thing for me in the sense I've gotten free food from people. I get, you know, free cookies, free homemade jam. When I buy gasoline, who gets free jam when they buy gasoline? I do, because I'm the white girl who lives here. It could be too because I live in a Hobunk town and it's pretty rare to see foreigners here. So I'm like a local celebrity in that sense. But on the flip side, there's a lot of prejudice against other groups, especially other Asian groups. When I went to the immigration office, for example, and I was supposed to be renewing my visa, and the forms are all in Japanese, and they don't make it very easy for you to fill it out if you don't know Japanese. My husband was with me, so he could help, but you know, I was trying to fill it out the way that they wanted me to, and the guy working there, you know, made an effort to try to tell me some stuff in English of what I needed to write down, but the English ability of the workers is terrible, so it was kind of pointless, but he did try. So, you know, and he was super nice. You know, how long have you lived here? You know, you're doing really good with your Japanese, that's awesome, even though my Japanese is terrible then, you know, he was being really supportive and nice. And then right behind me was a Korean woman, and it was her turn next. And the situation is exactly the same. You know, Japanese husband and a foreign woman, and the reaction was completely different. And I was kind of surprised to hear how the gentleman's tone changed so much, and he sounded really angry, and, you know, you have to learn Japanese if you're going to live here, you better get on it, you know, and I was like, wow, you know, he didn't say that to me. And that kind of prejudice exists here a lot. And the same can be said too for Americans, even that aren't, but just that aren't white. Especially, there's a lot of, you see a lot of people, couples getting together, the gentlemen who are in the military and that are in business that come here, that are African American, and then they marry a Japanese woman, and they have children, and the way that they fit in is really tricky and hard, and there's not as much welcoming feeling, and definitely a whole different vibe for that. And, you know, for the people that are from the military, it's a little understood. There's a lot of tension here because a lot of people don't really like that there's still military bases from the States in Japan. And the reason being that a lot of the people that are based there, or at least a couple of the people that are based there, behave so poorly and do such atrocious things that they give a really bad name to American military people, and you know, have made it really, a lot of tension for a lot of those places, especially in Okinawa. But it's odd watching it, and you know, being on the side where everything is good and in my favor, and then watching other people being treated, you know, so casually and with so much you know, tension and dislike, obvious dislike. It's really weird. So I think, you know, that's something to get kind of used to. If you happen to just come for a visit and you're a white person too, you probably think, wow, everybody's so nice to me. You know, they want to come and touch your hair. My hair, not so different. So people kind of don't freak out about that. People actually think that I must naturally be blonde and that I dye my hair because all Americans have blonde hair. And they also are surprised that I don't have blue eyes. You know, they're like, wait, aren't your eyes blue? I know my eyes are brown. But they assume sort of these things. I've got quite a bit of gray in my hair, and the moms that are the mothers of the children that my daughter goes to school with assume that that's my blonde roots coming in. It's awesome. So it's just a lot of really flabbergasting kinds of reactions to things. So definitely something you can only experience if you spend a lot of time here. You know, if you're just a tourist and you're here, you get your whole usual tourist feel of things. But if you actually get to live here for a long time, people really react strange. And you know, if you get a chance to kind of see that and see how they treat yourself and then others that are of a different kind of situation, it definitely kind of makes you realize that there's a lot of, you know, prejudice here. And I think with the problems facing the country ahead of not having a very big population, Japan's going to need to be more willing to accept foreigners with really open arms, especially the local Asian people who would like to come here and work and do great things. I think people here need to try to be more accepting of them and welcoming and make life here easier, because without other people's help, the country is going to kind of just shrivel away and disappear. So, but I'd love to hear any of your guys' comments or questions in the comment section below. If you've had a chance to be here or any other Asian culture, you can kind of you know, comment of how that was like, dealing with different prejudices in your own home country as well. All of those things are always, I think, important topics to share with each other, and as the world just gets so much smaller every day. So